you people.
Some things are just special, like sunny days and puppy dogs and the muffled screams of the new meat's breath being squeezed out as he chokes down a hearty helping of Al Smucker's jelly. Because in the joint, things are done a little different. You see, Al Smucker's puts nothing but the best in their jelly, and that attention to detail sets them apart from all the other anal jellies on the market. Plus, the kids really love it.
Grandpa!
All right, settle down. Here you go. There's the stuff. Well, here you go.
Thanks, Grandpa. I can't feel my lip.
That reminds me. Al Smucker's has a special ingredient taken from the African greaseberry plant that helps you get through those tough times. I remember one occasion down at Chico State. It was Valentine's Day and Bugs decided he wanted some company for the night. Well, we called him Bugs because sometimes he would just plain chew it off. Anywho, Bugs, Garrison Keeler and I were passing Paul Harvey around like the only book of matches at a Portuguese opium den. Well, one thing led to another, and Paul leans over and screams, "I can't take it anymore! I can't take it anymore!" Well, when the new meat says that, they're just gonna get it harder. Well, it was summertime, and all other lube had dried up, what with it being only water. And I said, "Hang on there, Bugs, try this," and handed him a regurgitated condom full of Al Smucker's jelly. I'm still haunted by those gurgling sounds, like a lullaby my mother used to sing.
Back in 1892, in the berry valleys of Bumlick, Oregon, our founders, Jerry and Wendell Lassmucker, raised and harvested locally grown berries into jams and jellies. They took great pride in a job well done and signed every jar as their personal guarantee of quality. But sometime in the early 1900s, the brothers got into some trouble and spent a good part of the war in prison. No one knows what happened there, but when they got out, they returned to the jelly market with a new gleam in their eyes, spring in their step, and deep emotional scars. And while Bumlick remains our headquarters, we now operate facilities in every major prison from coast to coast. Prisoners grow the berries, harvest the yield, mix the jelly, and even test it for viscosity and thermal breakdown.
I came here to sodomize bitches and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum! Emergency, help!
No, calm down. Everything's fine.
When you need relief from the pain in your seat, Ass Smuckers and you.
Ass Smuckers is produced exclusively by North Korean slave labor and is not affiliated with Ass Smackers or Ass Pokers.
You're free now, you're free!
Justin. I sort of felt sorry for the guy. I'd seen bad cases of bad men coming here to do bad things, and this was not that guy. He was shell-shocked. His trembling hands were not hands meaning malice. His aloofness wasn't meant from drugs or malfeasance, but he was a mess. The sad, bad mess brought on by a broken heart and a mean woman. As he left the desk, he left his bag. I took it up to him a few minutes later. I would normally not do the schlepping of bags to a room, but I did in this case. I just had a feeling and I wanted to stay with it. Justin looked like he had already left this world when he answered his door. His tie was loose too much, so it looked like an upside-down noose. What was probably normally neatly slicked back hair was mussed like savage grass strands. His eyes were bruised from crying so hard, from deep within. I didn't ask him anything. An okay would have seemed shallow, and I knew the answer. She was with him, he said. What was I thinking? Jesus. It was one of those stories that bring decent men to places like this hotel, in this part of this kind of city. I know that story well. He was there in our home, he continued. His arm dropped hold of the door and he weakly turned inside, dying, sighing, staggering, slumping on the bed foot. Our darned home, he said. Darn her. So Justin was that kind of man. Didn't swear, held his house as a home, probably snuggled his cat and doted on his roses too. Poor bastard. He didn't even bother putting on his clothes. Justin had spent his tears by now, but his voice quivered, shook in his throat. He looked up at me with eyes that meant to cry, his face contorted, brow so furrowed it was hurting me just looking at him. And she laughed. So this guy had come home to find his wife with another man, I'm thinking. Had a fit, and now here he is in Wretchville, like all the rest of us. Another weak link beat down. I was wrong. Justin's head dropped below his shoulders, his arms on his knees, hands cross-fingered. I fixed it, though, he said. It won't happen again. I heard the chicken squawk of the police radios echoing through the stairs as the officers approached the room, and I just got out of the way. They took Justin away as quiet and as confused as he had come in. Turned out he had called the police and reported himself and his crime right after. They didn't mess around after the fire. 2 scorched bodies and arson in suburbia make the law take action. So Justin left the Golden Eagle Hotel dead to one world, dead to his next, but real in a sense.
I found my thrill on top of this hill. Yes, I found my thrill on top of this hill. This is known as the grassy knoll. And I was lying right there, enjoying the sun that's gone behind the cloud now. A small cloud. It'll be back. Yeah, the grassy knoll was to disappear because of a construction project. Thank God TransLink didn't have enough money to do it. They're going to put in like an underground bus thing. They decided they couldn't afford it, which is great because the grassy knoll is still here, and it is an absolutely iconic part of the University of British Columbia. There's the Student Union building in front of us. Yeah, it's barbecue time. As you can see in the distance there, they're setting up the queue, and then there's the pendulum, which you can see right next to it, and there's a guy in a van. And 2 people in red shirts having some food. Ah, here comes the sun again. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. I say, it's all right. Lots of trees. This is actually a very large open area. Not too many of those. Actually, that's not true. There's a couple people that will come walking into the frame, and then they will walk back out the other side later.
Next is going to be a really, really good band. They call themselves Meet the PR. Just wait. When I first heard it, I thought it was said Magnum PI. But Meet the PR. On the guitar is going to be Leo Braff. Casey Fuskin on piano, Jesse Blair on the bass, and Dustin Koff's going to be playing them drums, baby. So you know it's going to be hot.
regular by Thanksgiving. No one expected $2.34 in the Boise area 2 weeks out from the holiday. The low prices are even more startling considering recent record highs.
We hit the high end of the pendulum when we saw $147 oil and $4.16 gasoline here in July.
Falling oil prices and falling demand from drivers are fueling the dramatic drop. Some states across the nation are now averaging under $2.
Do you have a plan for this? No.